Let's take a look at some built-in functions that relate to mathematical operations. We'll head straight over to PyScripter and check some of them out. First up, we have the abs function, which is not related to your abdominal muscles. It returns the absolute value supplied as the only parameter to the function. That value must be a numerical value. So we are talking about an integer or a float. The absolute value is the positive distance between x, which is the number, and 0. So basically when you have a negative number, it is going to return the positive of that number. So if I put in minus 10.5 and hit enter, we get 10.5. I could put in minus 534, hit enter, and we can see we get positive 534. So we use a float first and then we use an integer. And if we supply in a positive number, we also get returned the positive value. So absolute is always going to return a positive value. Next up, we have the round function. Round takes a number and you can round it to a certain precision in decimal digits. Now often you might get coordinates that have several decimal places, which probably gets you down to a tiny atom on the earth somewhere, which is just ridiculous. And you might want to chop off some of those decimal places. Let's say we had a value of 53.72536678, and we wanted to round that down to 2 digits after the decimal place. And hit enter, and you can see we have 53.73. If I hit up and I do not supply in the number of decimal places, it is rounded to the nearest integer. So the built-in round function takes a number and then you supply in the number of decimal places that you require. Next up we have pow, which stands for to the power of. Here we can say 2 to the power of 2 and hit enter, and we got 4. 2 to the power of 10, we get 1024, and this is the same as saying 2 asterisk asterisk 10. We get the same value. So with pow, our first digit, our first number is the base, and the second number is the exponentiation. So 2 to the power of 10. We also have div mod, which takes a dividend and a divisor as the parameters. And the div mod function returns a tuple containing the quotient and the remainder when the dividend is divided by the divisor. So let's take a look at that. Let's say our dividend is 10 and our divisor is 3. We'll hit enter. 3 goes into 10 3 times, remaining 1. We'll try another div mod. We'll go with 9. We'll keep it divided by 3. This time we can see it goes in 3 times with no remainder. Let's create a list of numbers. We'll just call it num list. Set this to equal 10, 7, 11, 2, 1, and 6. We'll hit enter. We can use the sum function and supply in an iterable, which is our num list, and we get the sum of all the values within our list. So we have 10 plus 7, which is 17, plus 11, which is 28, plus 2, which is 30, plus 1, which is 31, plus 6, which is 37, which gives us our summed value. We can also get the max value in that list. So we use the max built-in function, supply in our num list, and hit enter, and we can see that 11 is the highest value in our list. And of course we have max, so we have a min and num list, and we can see that 1 is the lowest number in the list, so we're expecting 1 to be returned. In this video we took a look at some mathematical operations that we could perform using built-in functions with Python.